Grinding Gear Games has stated that patch 0.3 would fix every problem that Path of Exile 2 has. But does the third edict actually bring PoE 2 closer to its original vision? Or is this just an update that's patching holes in a largely unfinished tapestry? In this video, I'll be breaking down the stated vision of Path of Exile 2 straight from the developer interviews and articles, then ask, how well does patch 0.3 fit into that vision? But before I do that, let's take a quick recap look at the last update, Dawn of the Hunt. Back in April 2025, the community response to patch 0.2 Dawn of the Hunt was rough.
Alright guys, just hang on, let me whip out my hammer and anvil and reforge my weapon so I can kill these white mobs.
GGG, you've made the biggest piece of shit ever designed in an ARPG. This game is currently worse than Wolcen, Diablo 4, Diablo 3, Diablo 9, any ARPG.
That's why Jonathan Rogers and GGG have pitched 0.3 as a course correction, saying it would fix every problem that anyone has. Things like extreme difficulty, frustrating pacing, build-breaking nerfs, and the lack of rewards saw many players quitting the game after just the first week or two. And the review score on Steam reflected that. However, since the initial release, the game has been updated to a much better place. Probably the best state the game has ever been in, minus a few broken builds, of course. But many players had already checked out of the game by this point. Speaking of checking out, check out that like button down there. Doesn't that thing look so damn clickable? Alright, let's take a look at the vision for the game, which has been taken directly from articles and interviews from various sources. I've distilled this down into 4 distinct pillars. Approachability without losing depth. Jonathan Rogers has said PoE 2's biggest design goal is removing incidental complexity, like overly bloated systems, while keeping all of the depth. Path of Exile 2 is a hard game, but it enhances accessibility from its predecessor in various ways. The revised skill gem and socket system, in-game explanations and tutorials, new player onboarding, etc. This approachability has contributed to PoE 2 seeing the largest player numbers in GGG's history at its early access launch. Combat clarity and engagement. PoE 2's combat was built around WASD movement and weightier animations. The vision? Encounters that are more readable, more dangerous, and less about instant screen wipes. Eventually you'll get strong enough to explode entire screens, but the journey getting there is slower paced and filled with boss fights and monster encounters that require attention and create engagement. Progression and variety. Path of Exile 2 is meant to feel fresh and open to many build possibilities, and its progression is intended to feel meaningful throughout your journey through the campaign into the endgame. Their goal is to have you really feel your power grow, which is supplemented through milestones within the game, crafting, and various improvements to your character's power through completion of in-game systems as an ARPG sandbox. And finally, quality of life. GGG has admitted that there were various features within PoE 1 that weren't designed optimally to enhance the quality of life for the player. Additions like being able to pause, search for keywords in the passive tree and stash, and quick travel waypoint options have been big improvements, and some of these have even made their way back into Path of Exile 1. Now let's quickly break down some of the major new additions to the game coming in patch 0.3, the third edict. First off is Act 4. It features non-linear islands and new bosses, monsters, and environments. Then there's a major campaign overhaul. Cruel difficulty is gone. Instead, you'll progress through 3 interlude acts that take you to level 65 and bridge you directly into the endgame. Next, the biggest system change is the support gem system overhaul. The old 1 copy per support rule is gone. This overhaul includes changes to new support gem tier levels, newly added support gems, and 40 endgame lineage support gems to chase after. On the other hand, patch 0.3 is also introducing a massive amount of balance changes to existing skills, ascendancies, and the passive tree. Many existing powerful skills are being brought down, and many of the otherwise unusable skills are receiving pretty significant buffs. Although some of these balance changes might feel a bit unwarranted, I think the vast majority of them are an absolutely great change. Patch 0.3 also removes the weapon swap delay, pushing combat towards fluid use of multiple spells and weapon types. The new league, Rise of the Abyssals, brings fissures into the underground depths with bone crafting, dangerous encounters, and strong rewards. The endgame expands with customizable waystones, new bosses, more deterministic crafting through desecrated modifiers and upgraded orbs, faster access to league bosses, and new high-end items. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, sprinting, asynchronous trade progress, UI polish, and more. I think it's pretty safe to say that 0.3 is going to be absolutely massive. Now that we've established what the 4 pillars of the game's vision are, and the big changes that are coming in 0.3, let's break down if these new additions fit within the vision of Path of Exile 2. I think that the removal of Cruel is a significant step in the right direction towards approachability. Many players have expressed that completing the campaign a second time in Cruel just felt bad. The removal of the support gem restrictions also fits into this category. This should result in many new builds and possibilities opening up for players. The crafting improvements also move in this direction as well, providing players with more of that desperately needed determinism. All of these changes fit strongly within the vision of increasing approachability while still keeping depth intact. Personally, I was a bit shocked to learn that Sprint was coming into the game. We now have the option to straight up skip and run past combat encounters if we choose to, which partially goes against GGG's vision of the danger and engaging combat that would be taking place frequently. I do think, however, that this change is a positive one in the long run and will help reduce the time it takes to backtrack areas for certain objectives, which certainly wasn't solved with their addition of checkpoints. One thing I also do question here is the addition of Deflect and the life nerfs. Personally, I think that evasion builds struggle more because of a lack of total hit points, allowing them to survive hits that bypass their evasion. We will see if Deflect is a solution to this, or if it just adds an additional layer to the already strong evasion energy shield combo. The support gem overhaul alone is huge. Removing the copy restriction massively expands build expression, though it also opens a balancing Pandora's box. I'm really curious to see what comes out of this, especially with the inclusion of the lineage supports. These new unique supports provide players with more chase items at the endgame, which is exactly what we need to keep logging in. Crafting also falls into this category as well. Having more endgame chase crafts will significantly improve players' progression at the endgame, while making it easier to supplement weak spots in your gear during the campaign with changes like the reworked essences. There's no denying that the inclusion of asynchronous and offline trade is a massive quality of life improvement. The current trade system is one of the major reasons why I moved over to HCSSF, and while I personally enjoy that playstyle more, I know a lot of people are going to be over the moon for this change. While players will still have to interact with the trade site to take advantage of this system, it is a promising step in the right direction, and I can't wait to see how they take this further by keeping it all within the game. While I'm still on the fence about sprinting, I can't deny that it is also a very huge quality of life improvement that will come very much in handy during those pesky traversal situations. So, does patch 0.3 fit into the vision for Path of Exile 2? While I believe that the third edict isn't fixing every single issue, and it may inevitably bring new issues into light, I think that it is stepping in the right direction while also sticking pretty closely to what GGG has stated for the vision for the game. It is an early access game, and things are bound to change as more things develop. But I'm extremely excited to hop in on the 29th and can't wait to experience everything that Grinding Gear Games has been cooking for the last 4 months. What do you think? Does the third edict finally put PoE 2 on the right track? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, it helps way more than you think, and consider subscribing to the channel for more PoE 2 content. Also check out my podcast, where I interview a bunch of PoE 2 creators and discuss the game, life, and everything in between. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the third edict. Peace.